A Monday, and that means pattern predictions looking out to the next 2 weeks of weather here at the 1 Degree Outside Weather Network. Just a reminder, you can always follow the 2-week forecast with our 14-day, and that is right on our app, totally free. Just search 1 Degree Outside Weather on both the App Store and Google Play. But this video designed to do more than just give you the numbers. We like to tell you the why, about why the weather's going to evolve the way that it is. You remember in pattern predictions the last couple of weeks, we talked about the flip that would be coming. We are in it now. The flip to a jet stream trough, a dip in the jet stream that allows colder air to pour in out of Canada. We're going to be in this for a while through the upcoming weekend. Then it lets go a bit. It's not the same kind of sudden flip going back to warmth. But let me show you how it goes. Basically, what happens is we've got more energy digging down, a storm along the coastline with both windswept rain and some snow when you come particularly across northern New England this upcoming weekend, making use of the cold air that's in place. What we're getting ready for is another round of energy that'll be diving down from the northern plains across the Midwest and carving out the trough for us again into early parts of next week. This means you really can't get a warm pattern. You can get at least less in the way of colder air, come closer to where you should be for this time of the year in terms of temperature. But until you can get into the ridge that's building across the nation's southern portion of the U.S. down through the south central United States, you really aren't going to get into significant amounts of warmth, right? And so as we go out deeper into the period, we go out, let's say, to 2 weeks from now, you do have enough kind of waviness that shows up in the jet stream. You will open the door to warmer air from time to time. It's just not going to be a prolonged warm pattern until and unless you can get this to break a little bit, which may happen as we get to the last week of the month anyway. And it really is reflected, all the things that we just talked about at the jet stream level, at the surface level as well. When we put temperatures on here and color in, you can see that warmth that starts to build even by the time we get to early next week. It just has trouble getting in here. So you might get a little sliver of it when a disturbance comes in, but look what you do. There's always a Canadian cold front coming in behind it and helping to offset. And that's exactly the case even through the middle of next week. And then finally, as we get toward the end of the 2-week period, you start to try to open the door to warmth a little bit more, and maybe you can do it more successfully, as I mentioned, in about the last third of the month or so. So look at this as a slow transitional process to get to something that's going to be closer to normal. And if you look at the forecast temperatures over the next 14 days, you see what I mean. Certainly colder than the normal high temperatures running in the 50s, and then closer to where we should be as we head into next week. Maybe you could squeeze out just barely above normal over the course of the week. In terms of low temperatures, yeah, still frost and freeze stuff for a while, but as we get out to next week, that may begin to ease. I don't know that we are quite at the point that we can write it off for much of New England. We looked together in the monthly forecast, which is available at onedegreeoutside.com, at how things would go over the month and when the normal last frost is. And for most of us in New England, it's not until the very end of April, or for many of us as you get into May. But you can reference monthly forecast if you want more on that. Rainfall over the next 10 days. You can see the eastern United States is the spot to light up. That's good. We continue to chip away at the deficit in our water table. We've been doing a good job of adding rain into the system and the water table over the last couple of weeks, and that will continue over the next 2 weeks as well. In terms of snowfall, remember I told you we're going to make use of that cold air. You don't really get any snow in the second week of this 2-week period. It's this week into the weekend that you continue to add snow into parts of northern New England. And you know what? April can be a very snowy month for the mountains of the north, particularly in Maine. And look at this. Generally, that deeper blue that you see is where you've got somewhere on the order of 6 to the purples being 8 inches of total snow. Now, with this time of the year, the sun angle being what it is, a lot of that tends to melt almost as quickly as it would come down. In terms of within a day or two, a lot of it's gone. But you get the idea that winter isn't done yet across the mountains. All right, just a reminder, you've got the gear, swag.onedegreeoutside.com. Hope you like pattern predictions. I love bringing this one to you. It's always fun to see what the atmosphere's got up its sleeve over the next 2 weeks. We're getting there. Something a little warmer next week anyway, one step at a time. See you later on.